I'm always one step behind, wishing I could read your mind, but I'm ready, yeah, never ready. I wish I could have made it stop the first time.
Hey guys, welcome back to Being Mrs. Frazier. Today I'm getting ready for a football party. It is football season and I've got some super fun and easy ideas to share with you. We're talking tasty finger foods, creamy bean dip, and even a budget-friendly charcuterie board that's perfect for any game day. And to top it all off, I'll be showing you a few cheap Amazon finds that I found to decorate to help pull everything together. So if you're hosting for Super Bowl tailgate or just cheering on your favorite team at home, you're going to love these simple ideas. So let's go ahead and jump right into today's video. So we're starting right here with the decor that I did find on Amazon. Mostly I found this fun blow up inflatable, whatever you want to call it, shoot, I just lost the name of it. It's a football cooler, basically, so it blows up into a kind of like a little boat looking thing, a little raft that you put ice in, and then you can put all your drinks in. So if you are a pop person or a pop party person, or if you want to throw some beers in there or whatever, anything to kind of just chill down, got some kids, throw some juice boxes in there for them. Absolutely perfect. And then I also picked up a couple of things from Home Goods, oh my goodness, from Hobby Lobby. And I actually shared this in my last football snack party game day food video, and y'all seem to love that, so I definitely wanted to bring it back this year with some new things. These dishes here, you see the tray and the bowl and the little football tray over there, those are all from Hobby Lobby, and they seem to have them every single year. There is tons of decor out between Hobby Lobby and Michael's, and even I think Walmart and places like that have lots of football items out, and they're not gender, oh my goodness, they're team neutral, and so I think they are perfect for any football party, especially if you want to use them for different parties, whether it's the NFL that you're rooting for, or college football, or even your local little kids football team or high school football team, whatever it is that you are promoting or supporting. These are perfect because, like I said, they are color neutral, and so they kind of just fit everybody's theme, and you can definitely dress them up by adding your favorite team's colors. You could add balloons using your favorite team's colors, or even more banners or anything like that. So I definitely love this decor. It's very affordable and fun and can be reused every single game day. Now it's time to move on to the good stuff. We're going to go ahead and start with some Hawaiian roll sliders. Now, you may be wondering why I'm pulling out my bread machine, and that's because, you guys, we're going to be making our own Hawaiian rolls. Instead of using the King's Hawaiian rolls, I thought it would be fun to go ahead and make our own. And I'm going to tell you what, these things were absolutely delicious. You guys know I am on a journey of kind of trying to make my own things. Now, don't get me wrong, we still use products that are made in store, whatever, not in store obviously, but pre-made products. We definitely still use them, but you know, I'm trying to cut back as much as I can where I can, and so we're starting somewhere. And you guys know I've been on a bread journey, and so I thought it would be super easy to just make my own Hawaiian rolls. And so here we go. And of course, I'm utilizing my bread machine because y'all know I love my bread machine. I will be sharing some recipes throughout this video, so make sure you are screenshotting those so that way you can make your own.
Like the ocean, I can see you want this too, 'cause you've been looking at me all night trying to figure me out. I just want to let you know, and I ain't playing no.
So these Hawaiian rolls are super simple, and I will say, so a little tip from Tammy, when you are measuring out your ingredients, putting them into your bread machine, try not to scoop your flour. You're getting more flour in there than what the recipe actually calls for. If you can weigh it, that is the best option. But if you can like shovel it with a little spoon into your measuring cup, that would be a much better option than just like scooping it the way I was. Because I will tell you, we keep it real around here, that I definitely had way too much flour, and I had to watch my bread machine and check it like after 5 minutes or so after it started mixing, and it was a little dry. So I did end up putting a little bit more pineapple juice in there than the recipe initially called for, just to help soak up the extra flour that I accidentally put in there. So if you ever have that issue with your bread machine or your breads, your recipes that you're using, you're noticing it's a little too dry, try adding a tablespoon of liquid, whether it's water or milk, or this case I used pineapple juice. A tablespoon at a time, let it get mixed in and see where it's at, and let it go from there. If it's too runny, you're noticing it's really sticking to the sides and just real kind of sloppy, you can use a tablespoon of flour and add that to the recipe or to the bread pan, and that will help soak up those extra liquid ingredients. So only do a tablespoon at a time if you're having that issue, and kind of go from there. But anyway, so I did get about 16 rolls out of this recipe. Now, the recipe says about 15 to 20 rolls, and I will say that my rolls were probably a little bit big, and I probably could have gone a little bit smaller. They're almost perfect handheld size though. Honestly, they came out about the size of a normal bun that you would get from the grocery store, as opposed to the littler, smaller slider sizes that you see in the King's Hawaiian rolls. However, they were still absolutely delicious. My family loved them. I think my husband sat down and ate like 3 at each setting that he ate of these. We definitely had some left over, and they were just as delicious the next day. So definitely give them a try. Yes, I'm asking you to pull out your bread machines again, but I promise you this recipe was one of my favorites.
It's your heart out, your ex-man is with me now. You've been talking shit behind my back just to feel good about yourself, but he's with me now. We're kissing on your old couch. I know you're trying to feel better, 'cause you're being bitter on your own. Get your heart out.
So once you get your little dough balls all together, also you're just like folding the outer in, and as you're doing that, you're stretching it and squishing that air out is what you're doing, and then pinching the bottom to make the little ball. It's so simple. But once you get that done, you kind of want to put them in a greased 9x13 pan, and making sure that there is plenty of room so that they can rise. And then the recipe said to spray the tops with some oil before letting them rise. So I just put them in the oven to rise. If your house is a little bit too cold, this is the best way to get them to rise the way they're supposed to. Sometimes I'll leave them on the counter, but the easiest way for me is to throw them in the oven. So that's kind of what I did. Now, what I did, you can turn your light on and let them warm under that light and rise, or you can put it at your lowest setting. Let it get up to that temperature and then turn it off before putting the rolls in there to rise, or the dough to rise. So you can do that really realistically with any dough. Just a little additional tip from Tammy. And then after I baked them, I did put a little bit more butter on the top, and then we let them cool before we started making the little sliders.
Should get a taste of your medicine. Hannah, eat your heart out. Your ex-man is with me now. You've been talking shit behind my back just to feel good about yourself, but he's with me now. We're kissing on your old couch. I know you're trying to feel better, 'cause you're being bitter on your own.
Again, these were absolutely delicious, so you'll have to let me know if you try them. Oh, just watching this back, they were so good, and you'll see later on when I go to make the rolls that there is one missing, because my husband and I did eat that roll. I wanted him to try it, and I wanted to try it before making them, just to make sure that they came out correctly, and they did. They were so nice, fluffy, and airy, just absolutely delicious. And so what I'm doing now is just kind of like if you did with the King's Hawaiian rolls. So now we're to a point that if you don't want to make these yourselves, you could totally get King's Hawaiian rolls or whatever rolls you like, and basically you're just going to cut the tops off of them and then put them in your pan. I like to use a 9x13. They would probably go easier, especially if you're using the King's Hawaiian, because they are more square shaped or rectangular shaped. If you're using like the actual like an aluminum pan or a metal pan, because those seem to be more squared off than these glass 9x13s, but they totally worked it just fine. I did cut all the tops off, and then I placed every one back in their respective spot in the glass dish before I started loading them with yummy goodness. Now, I just loaded them with some deli ham, some salami, and some pepperoni, of course some provolone, because that's what my family likes. However, I think they would be so good if you added in some like pepperoncinis or some pickled peppers, or anything like that. You could even make this kind of a what is that, chopped salad, I think, with some lettuce or tomatoes or really anything. I think would absolutely be delicious in here. I really would like to try peppers next go around. I might have to add them just to a couple, because I know my family would probably not be a big fan of the peppers, but I think they would be so good. And of course, you're going to see once I get towards the end, I do run out of ham, but it's okay. I still made a couple with the pepperoni and the salami. And then you're gonna notice that I put a couple without any cheese on them. That is because my oldest does not like cheese, and so I try to accommodate her when and where I can. So next up, after we get all the meat and the cheese and all the toppings that you would like to put on them, they do need to go back in the oven. However, I like to put some butter with some seasoning on them first. So I did want to go ahead and use some Italian seasoning, hence the Italian sliders. And of course, I did not have any like pre-mixed Italian seasoning. I kind of find it a little silly to buy some of those pre-mixed seasonings when I already have everything already in stock in my pantry. Now, if you don't carry all the seasonings like normal in your pantry, then go ahead and buy the premix. It's super easy to make though, so I just make them when it's like that. It's literally just 2 tablespoons of basil and then 2 tablespoons of oregano. Now you're seeing me use a half a tablespoon, and that's why I'm using so many. But then a tablespoon of parsley, a tablespoon of rosemary, a tablespoon of thyme, and then a tablespoon of garlic. And you just mix it all together, and there is your super simple Italian seasoning. So I did just add that to some melted butter. I think I melted about a stick of butter, and then I went ahead and mixed the seasoning in there and just kind of spread it over my rolls. This gave them an extra little bit of flavor that I thought was absolutely delicious. So they do go in the oven, and then that butter kind of cooks into the bread. Oh, it is so good, you guys. You guys are gonna have to let me know if you make these or if you've made them before. I feel like I've shared a video of making some sub sliders before. I think I did that a few years ago for New Year's Eve in one of my New Year's Eve finger food videos. So I did put some foil on there for about 5 minutes, and then I took it off. I took it off for an additional 10 and let the butter and that evaporate or cook into the rolls. But I wanted that foil on there to help get that cheese nice, ooey, gooey, and melted. So they look absolutely delicious, but it's because they were. But moving on, we're going to move on to my mom's bean dip. Again, I feel like I shared this in one of my videos before, but we absolutely love it. And of course, I want to honor my mom whenever I can and share her easy recipes. So this is a good one. It's so super simple. It's a game day favorite for us. It's actually a New Year's Eve favorite for us. And my oldest daughter, like I told you before, she doesn't like cheese, but she absolutely loves this dip. Explain that to me. I don't get it, but anyway, it is super simple. I use a 32-ounce block of the Mexican Velveeta. I don't measure the milk. I just, I use my heart, my eyes to measure, to get kind of guesstimate. Basically, I'm just adding enough in there to get everything nice and creamy and smooth. I would guess it's probably about 2 cups of milk, and I am just using the fat-free skim milk that I have in my fridge, nothing special. I like to add a nice large can of refried beans to this. This goes into, I usually make my own refried beans, but this recipe is tried and true, and I do not change anything about it because I want it to taste the way my mom made it, and so that's how she made it. And then I am adding in 2 pounds of cooked hamburger. Now, if you wanted to make this your own recipe, you totally could and change up that hamburger and do like half hamburger, half sausage, or just all sausage. You could add in some green chilies or some jalapenos if you want a little bit more kick, or even some salsa. Whatever makes your little heart happy, make it your own. That is the greatest thing about cooking, is just, coming up with your own flavors and things in your food. So anyway, absolutely delicious, super creamy, and we like to eat it with Tostito scoops. I found these red ones, which were perfect for the Chiefs and the Huskers.
What is that over something? But I'm giving in with the waiting. For your darling is zero. No hint of a hero. Now you're telling me stories, but I don't believe you.
Next up, we're working on the charcuterie board. So as you see, I'm just using one of the larger game trays that I have, and then the little football divided tray. Now, you can pick and choose whatever you want for charcuterie. That is the beauty of charcuterie. You can make it as simple or as complicated as you want. We're simple around here. We are very simple folks. We don't do all the fancy cheeses and meats and jellies and jams and all that. What I like to, sure, but that's just not real for us, just to be honest. So I'm just using some pepper jack cheese, some Colby jack cheese, and some beef summer sausage. And so where I'm just cutting it down into little pieces and making it pretty on the board. Now you could go as far as like, I think what are the grocery stores? I know near us, if I want fancy meat and cheeses, I'm going to Perrines. Those of you that know the area, you're going to know what Perrines is. And I don't know. I just don't see spending the price. So it's just not for me. But you could get some fun jams and jellies from little farm stands, because I know those are super popular right now. And I absolutely love that, that those little farm stands are becoming regular, especially around my area. I see so many of them, and I think they're so fun. And then you're supporting a small mama or whoever, a small local business. So anyway, like I said, add whatever jams, jellies you like. You could also go to like Home Goods and stuff. They have little sections with the specialty jellies and jams and honeys and all that as well. And then you could also get, some fun mixed nuts. I actually came across some pickled cashews not too long ago at a Home Goods, and they were actually really good. That would be fun to put on the tray, but again, I'm just adding a little bit of easy peasy meats here. Like I said, the summer sausage and that, and then now I'm adding in some pepperonis because I thought that would be fun as well. The perfect thing about charcuterie too is that you can sit your charcuterie board out if your main dish is not quite ready. So say you're, grilling some steaks or some burgers, or you got a roast in the smoker or something like that, and that's not ready, but all your guests are starting to show up, or your kids are starting to get a little hungry. So throw that charcuterie together. It's super simple. I think it took me less than 10-20 minutes or so to do this, and that's including washing my fruit that you'll see here in a minute. But it's just super simple to throw together, and it's fun to have those as like little snacks and kind of a little bit of a pre-game to the main meal, if you will. So anyway, I am moving on to this separated tray here and adding in some fruit. Now, I'm kind of using what my kids kind of left me as far as fruit goes, and I did use some grapes. I had green and red on hand, and then I also had some strawberries, so I washed those strawberries up and cut them as well. And I thought it was fun to put them in like the little side pockets of this tray. Now, if you wanted to get fancy on the other tray, you could use little bowls or dishes and kind of help separate things. I've shared those type of charcuteries, not with the fancy situations, but with bowls and stuff like that on my channel before. So definitely go check those videos out if you haven't already. But I just thought these were super fun. And then I just put some buffalo pretzels that were new in my grocery store. I saw those, and so I just put those in the middle. Which, if you haven't tried these buffalo pretzels yet, you definitely need to. They are so good, but my lips were definitely burning by the time I was done eating them. And last but not least, if your team loses, you need something to heal that little bit of a wound, if you will. So we are making brownies, and actually we're making brownie sundaes, but we're starting with the brownies, starting from scratch. Make sure you grab a screenshot of that recipe so you can make these. They are absolutely delicious. I've made them time and time again, and my family just loves them. So, also, I added chocolate chips to mine. You could add nuts to yours if you'd like. Top them with some, powdered sugar. Again, you could really just add anything or everything that you want to these brownies. They are so easy and so delicious and just ooey gooey, and yes. So like I said, if your team didn't win, these are definitely the perfect little pick-me-up. If you guys don't know football, or if you guys are new here, I am a Chiefs girly. I love my Chiefs. I have liked them before Taylor Swift even became a thing. I am not a huge Swiftie by any means. I liked her like in her Red album era, but not so much anymore. And I really hate that they focus on her at the games, but it is what it is. I still cheer on my boys, and so it was such a bummer to see them lose to the Chargers, but it is what it is. And of course, my hubby is a huge Lions fan, and unfortunately, they just could not pull that win out against Green Bay. So he was pretty upset as well. These Brownies definitely helped a lot in that situation, but I will say, if you guys don't know, we're from Nebraska, and our Huskers pulled one out. Goodness, I forget what the score was, but it was like 60-something-0 against Akron. So I'm sorry if you guys are an Akron fan, but Nebraska definitely took the cake, if you will, on that game. So at least we had one game out of 3 of a win, but I hope the NFL season picks up. It is what it is. I don't know. But you guys, we are big sports people over here. We absolutely love football, so I love having special game day food for my family. So I just thought it would be fun to share with you some more recipes that I like to share with my family. So anyway, guys, we're not quite done yet, but I am just going to go ahead and get all these ingredients mixed up, baked up, and then we'll be right back to finish it all up.
Come on, come on. If you wanna see some crazy and also lazy, then you should meet me and my friends. Even though we got no money, we're sure as hell funny. Yeah, everything's better with them. We're just like, ooh, ooh, ooh. We don't worry about tomorrow. We just ooh, ooh, ooh. What we wanna do tonight. Waking up at sundown, the world's our playground, and we don't even have to pretend. Every time we're together, it doesn't get better, and every day's like a weekend. We're just like, ooh, ooh, ooh. We don't worry about tomorrow. We just ooh, ooh, ooh. What we wanna do tonight. So don't tell me how to act or how I should be. All we wanted is to be.
Make sure you are greasing your pan really well for these brownies, and then I bake mine for the longest temperature, or at the longest time, for 25 minutes, even though the recipe says 18 to 25. Mine definitely take about 25 minutes in my oven. But anyway, we did go ahead and top these with some vanilla ice cream. I was having a little bit of issues getting them out of the pan. I think it's because I didn't let them cool all the way, but it is what it is. So I wanted them a little bit warm though, to kind of melt that ice cream. It just tastes a lot better in my opinion. But I did serve my hubby 2 brownies again to try to help soothe that wound of the Lions losing. Oh my gosh, I love giving him such a hard time. But anyway, I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys will make some of these recipes. If you do, let me know down in the comments which one is your favorite. Let me know your favorite team down in the comments, and I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. I hope if you haven't already, you'll hit that red subscribe button, and you all stay happy, healthy, and safe. And we will see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.